Hey YouTubers, how many of y'all have pulled off a water pump off a Ford pickup and broke one of the bolts off a water pump? Well, I've did it before in the past. They're very, very typical about breaking off, and I'll show you the reason why. These bolts, they put these long bolts. Now you see how the end's rusted right there? All that's rusted. It's a little bitty 5/16 bolt with a 5/8 head on it. And fortunately mine broke off right there in the thread. So I'm left with, looks like two of them might be broke off. Looks like I might have broke off, that one's already broke, I don't know. But anyway, I broke the other one off right here, about along right here. So I got a little bit of thread left out. So what I'm going to do is take off this timing chain cover right here, pull this harmonic balance off. I already pulled the front pulley off, you see it down there. I already put my harmonic balance pulley on there to take this off, my wheel puller. Once I get this off, I'm going to take all my bolts out there. And I'm going to take this cover out and hoping that I got a little bit of stud stick. I think I do. If I got a little bit of stud sticking out, I'm going to take a torch and heat up the bolt, pair of vice grips, and work it out. If it don't, I'm going to have to center drill it and then put it easy out and try. But let's give it a whirl, see what's going to happen. And that should be off now, I think. Alright, now it's best to go ahead and replace this seal way in there and this seal behind here. So we got to finish taking off these long bolts, this bolt, probably some more. I can't see them, one up in there. Then we got to take the oil pan bolts up on the bottom. Not the whole oil pan, just right on front. These bolts here go up and go in this timing chain cover. So that's got to come off. Check your harmonic balance on the end. You see that groove right there? If that groove is cut real deep in there, you can get a sleeve. You put a sleeve on here. It presses on here, and it covers all up. You get a seal that's oversized, and it'll fit. The seal will fit this and still fit your other hole. And so make sure you check that groove there. Make sure it ain't wore real deep. If it's wore real deep, you need to get that sleeve put in. You can do it yourself. It's real easy. But you have to take this smart control pump off too. Take these three bolts out of the middle here. This one here. But the nut down here that hold on the stud that holds this one coming off. So I got to remove this thing in order to get that off. So let's take this off and see if that's all we got to take off. It's been a while I took one of these off, so I'm about relearning myself as I go. But I pretty well know how to do it. It's just you don't remember how to do it. Or if you want to take it out of your way, take it out of your way. But now we got another bolt to take out right here. I'm gonna need a little deep well socket to get it out. Probably a 9/16 or 5/8, I don't know. Then I get all my bolts out of the bottom of my oil pan here. This will be ready to take this front piece off of this engine. Alright, this little timing chain indicator right here. There's a little, that thing on the end what lines up on your harmonic balancer. What if you don't bend this? When you take these bolts out, don't prise on this piece whatsoever. Just make sure it comes off freely by hand. If you don't, you bend that piece on the end, you never get your timing right. Because just be done by timing light. So don't. Well, looks like now all we got these bolts on the bottom here to take out. These 4 bolts here, right on the very bottom of the oil pan. Alright, let's take these bolts out of the cover on the bottom. See, there's looks like 2 there and 2 there we got to take out. You ever try to use one of these swivels? See how that thing falls over? It just won't stay up. Well, just take some tape and wrap around this part here to make it still, and it'll make life a lot better. See, I got that tape on there. Now it's halfway run right, so let's take these bolts out. There's one. Alright, got all 4 bolts out the bottom. 2 here, 2 right there. 2 of them was 1/2 inch head and 2 of them was 3/8 head. So, whoops, there it is. So now we're going to try to prise this joker off. Go up top, make sure I got no more bolts to take off. So we see more bolts to pull out. You might see them quicker than I will with the camera. Camera might pick them up. I'm gonna let you look. Them two out there. Them two out. Then them two out. And that one's out. I don't know if there's one in there. No, I have to look with the flashlight in the mirror. But that's all we can see. So I'm gonna look in with a mirror and see what we can find. Like I said, it's been a while I done this, but if you look, there's two more bolts gotta be gotten out. If you look behind this, see that bolt right there? That one right there has gotta be taken out. So we'll take both of these out. And I think that's it. Once we get these out. It ain't but a mile long, looks like. There it goes. There's another one right over there. We'll take it out. Let's see if I can get it off now. Once I get the other one out. Well, looks like I'm gonna take the thermostat housing off. There's a bolt right here. There's another bolt right here. And I think that's it. So we take them out. We might get the other bolt. You see it way down the hole down there? There's a bolt right. Can't see it for right there where the inlet wrench is. Gotta get to. I believe I can get to it once I move that water pump thermostat housing. Well, I got that bolt out. Take your prise bar, put it between the water pump housing and this, and just prise. You see it already moving now? All we gotta do now is get the bottom broke loose. You're gonna bottom slide it off. That'll be ready to come off. I need to tie this air conditioner out of the way. It still works. I don't want to lose the freon. I need to tie it up over there somewhere so it won't keep getting in my way. So this is about ready to come off now. You gotta be careful with this. You gotta take a screwdriver around the bottom, prise around in it, find your place to prise. I don't know if I can do this with the camera and hold it so much to put the camera down the prise, but I'm gonna try to stick it in between here somewhere to prise the bottom out and lift this oil pan off in between there. Lift that up to get that off. So the top broke loose, just get the bottom broke loose. Well, I'll tell you how I got it off. I use this prise bar to keep prising the top back, like that, just keep prising back a little bit. Then I stuck this prise bar here, kept working in the back, kept working down, work it down, and finally it popped out down the bottom down there, see. So that's ready to come off. Oh, here's my timing chain cover, got it all in one piece. Like I say, it's only 2 bolts on the bottom for the oil pan. You got this 1, 2, 3, 4. Then once you get the water pump, it takes these 2 go through and help hold it too. But you got to take these 4 off the inside. You have 1, 2. So now you can see my little stud broken off. I was hoping. See that little stud there? I'm going to try to heat it with a torch real good. Then I'm going to take a pair of vice grips and clamp to it so I can pull it out. If that don't come off, I'm going to cut it off flat and center drill it and put it easy out in and see if I can get it out. Alright, here we go. Well, I found my stud puller. You got several different sizes. You got a small one, a little bigger, and a real big one. You stick it in and twist, and what it does, that little cam runs into it and twists it. So we're going to heat this bolt with a torch first. We're going to heat it real good, make sure that bolt gets hot all the way through there and let it cool off. And maybe to break that rust loose, because I don't want to take a chance of breaking it off. So I'm going to go ahead and heat it. So I got my torch out here, torch right here. So we're going to come back to you in a little bit. Well, so far the stud puller ain't working because when I twist the stud puller, it's hitting into this. So I'm going to take this bracket off, alternator bracket stuff off out of the way and see if I can get more turn on my stud remover. You know, the first thing every man ought to do on these Fords, you see this freaking hook, every time you bend over, it'll hook your clothes. I'm going to wrap some paper towel around and tape it on there because I'm tired of that thing grabbing me every time I bend over. When you start taking this alternator bracket off, you're going to find out when you get these bolts here out, you're going to have one right there in the middle. It's loose. I got it where I can tap it around with a hammer, but I discovered a bolt in there, so I got to take that one out. And I believe I can get rid of that thing out of the way and try this stud remover again. I went ahead and stuck some paper towels down in front of this oil pan, keep some dirt falling there. But now I'm able to get that stud to turn since I got all that junk out of the way. So now I'm getting out the broke stud. I was fortunate to have a little piece of stud hanging out. That should be it right there. Alright. There's my little broke off stupid stud. Caused me all that problem. You see how that thing works? It wedges it in there. It's a cam light. The tighter you do it, tighter it holds. So if it don't come out, it'll ring it off either way. Alright, we got that clear. So we got to start cleaning up and putting it together. Get our new water. I want to put a timing chain in it, but I don't have the money. I'm not going to do it. I'll put a thermostat in it, put a new gasket, and get me some Permatex to reseal from this oil pan, all that, and put a new seal in it. That's as far as I'm going. That's all the money I got. So that's how you remove a broken bolt.